What's going on, people? Welcome back to Curtis Shaw TV, back with another live stream. Today, we're going to focus on the two bad boy strikers that we've got at Arsenal. You can see them behind me, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang and Alexandre Lacazette. Who is the main striker for Arsenal? Who is the man who is going to lead us, hopefully, to Europa League glory? Make sure you smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And the link for membership is in the description below. Big up everyone in the comments. Hope you're safe and well. Now, I'm pretty sure, before you get on to me, I'm pretty sure I was on time today, people. 2:25 and I kicked, start broadcast. But people are slandering me in the comments saying I'm late, Jamaica time and all that again. But I thought I was here on time. But hey, Jazzbeat says I was late. Footy chats, big up yourself, Curtis. Hope you're good. I'm good, man. Big up everyone for tuning in as always. If you get the ball, all right, we'll get into that 1-1. Only 1 minute late. You get me? Progress, man. Nottingham Legends trying to say 6 minutes. It was 25 past the video was starting, man. Get your facts right, man. Big up, though, anyway. And hope you're all safe and well today, wherever you are in the world. Omar said, I'm off the hook. Come on, man. I was here, man. You know what I mean? What's a minute between the community, man? Pull up. Big up my boy, Franny Green. Man's in quarantine right now. Man's in quarantine in London. They won't let him out, man. Locked up. They won't let me out. No. But he's in a 5-star, He's in a 5-star quarantine flying in from Dubai. They won't let him go nowhere, man, There you go. I was late by like a millisecond, man. Progress. We're getting there, people. Every day make progress, Big up everyone for tuning in. Let's get into this anyway, people. We got some facts ready. I know a lot of people have been slandering the boy Aubameyang lately, man. I'm gonna defend both of them today, Akon vibes, man. You know about Akon back in the day when we was, well, I don't know how old everyone is, but for me, like teenager days, man, Akon was cleaning up, man. You know what I mean? Locked up, they won't let me out. Come on, man. Akon was, I don't know what happened. This guy's just disappeared out the music industry, but you know what time it is anyway, people. Man said, Kurt moving like a Aubameyang with the lateness. Only thing is, bro, I'm not driving a gold Lamborghini. Do you know what I mean? He's in a slightly better car than me. Big up my boy Theo Smith as well. Curtis is as late as Arteta making a sub. Bro, I ain't 70 minutes late. Do you know what I mean? The man's, I don't think he can make subs till the 70th minute. Hey, but it is what it is. Have you forgiven Aubameyang for his performance against West Ham? Forgiveness is a real strength in life, people. I'm a forgiving person, I've forgiven him right now. He's given us, a lot. I don't forget what Aubameyang did in the FA Cup and that, Yeah, Akon, I think he lit up half of Africa. Then he did all these things, putting light in all over Africa, doing big things, man. Big up Akon. He made some big tunes, man. Lonely. I'm still look. Remember that tune there? Akon, man. You can't forget, man. He made some hits. Well, oh, no, he made some hits. Ah, the ghetto. Yo, Akon, don't let me start singing on YouTube during international break, people. It can all go mad. It can all go mad. Wales, Golf, Madrid, Spurs. There you go, people. Gareth Bale, man said, listen, the gyms are closed. I'm going to go to Tottenham to use the gym. They were celebrating, dancing in the streets, Tottenham. They said he's back, the legend's back. Man said, bro, fitness first is closed in Madrid. I've got no other choice. Man just coming to London to use Tottenham for fitness, and I'm going back to Madrid. You know what I mean? You're making me old, Curtis, talking about Akon. I know, where's he gone, man? What a legend. Man got me singing out here. Want to jump in my Lamborghini Gallardo. Come on, man. About to hit the studio. Yeah, I don't know how far I would get on X Factor, man. My voice, don't know. But hey, let's get into it, people. Aubameyang against Lacazette. Who's the man? Europa League final. Mikel Arteta, the day before the Europa League final. Manchester United v Arsenal. Europa League final at the end of May. Picture it, people. Charles Watts asking your boy Arteta, you've been getting criticised by Curtis Shaw TV and You know, Mikel Arteta gets agitated and storms out of the press conference. He says, if Curtis Shaw knows what he's talking, tell him to come and manage. And I step into the hot seat, Europa League final. We're going to pick the team for the final. Who are we going for? Are we going for Lacazette? Are we going for Aubameyang, people? Who would you go for? Who's going to win the Europa League for us? Arteta stormed out. He's had enough. They've told him about my Netflix series. Arteta out, season 4. Who are we going for? I'm going to defend both of them today. I'm going to give them a fair assessment of who the better striker is out of the two of them. Let's start with your boy, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. People have quickly forgot what this guy has done for this football club. Don't get me wrong. On Sunday, I was screaming down the place. I felt his performance was nothing short of disgraceful. In fact, his performance was so bad, I was actually hoping he turned up late, because he might as well have turned up late the way he turned up and performed, you know. Big up Robbie with a super chat. He said, Edouard, no talk of it again. Rodgers will get him and he will be a 50 million worth striker this time next year. Why can't we get these early deals done? Big up Robbie with a super chat, man. It's Arsenal, innit? We don't do anything on time, you know. Luis Suarez, 40 million and a pound. Need I say any more, people? All right. I think I created a good scenario there. I think I took you all to the... You felt like you was in the press conference on Arsenal.com and, you know, all sorts was going off. But listen, Aubameyang, we signed him in January, 2017-18 season. Alexis Sanchez walked out the door. I've got to admit, I was feeling pretty low as an Arsenal fan. Not in general life, but just as an Arsenal fan. I was like, it's happened again, people. This is Van Persie part 2. Man United have took our best player. In the end, he was nothing more than a male Alicia Keys piano player. Do you know what I'm saying? But at the time, I thought it was disastrous. Alexis Sanchez is going to United in a swap deal for Mkhitaryan. Wenger pulls out Aubameyang, and I'm like, right, do you know what? There's light at the end of the tunnel. We've brought in a big boy goal scorer. He comes in first season. 13 games, 10 goals, 4 assists. What a start. Half a season, 14 goal contribution in 13 games. The next season, your boy Oba, under Unai Emery now. Emery has come in as manager. First season, 22 goals, Golden Boot winner. I think he was level with Salah and Sadio Mane. Them two ripped up the place that year. He wins the Golden Boot. 22 goals, 5 assists, Europa League final. We lost it. You've got to look at that season and think, we had to get in the Champions League that season. Lacazette won Player of the Year, 18-19 season. Aubameyang wins the Golden Boot. How can you not possibly come in the top 4? You know, we know the reason why that all occurred. Some of it is Emery's fault, changing the team. Some of it, the players bottled it in the final. But we should have got in the Champions League that season. You look at last season, Emery gets sacked. Ljungberg comes in, was a bit all over the place. Arteta comes in, to be fair, rescues the season, winning the FA Cup. Aubameyang lights up the FA Cup, wins as the FA Cup, really. Scores in the semi-final, 2 against Man City. Scores in the final, 2 against Chelsea. Lifts the trophy, drops the bottom of the trophy. What a player. Signs a new contract. Let's be honest. Some people are saying he shouldn't have signed the new contract. We were all desperate for him to sign the deal. Think back to the summer, man, how we celebrated when he signed that contract. We were delighted. We felt he could take us on to bigger and better things. But this season, it just hasn't happened for Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Now, I think there's a few reasons why it hasn't happened. And I don't believe it's all his fault. Some of it is his fault. You have to take responsibility and be held accountable. But some of it isn't his fault, in my opinion. He scored 9 goals in 24 games and 1 assist. 10 goal contribution in 24 games. It's not good enough for a man of his quality. What I will say is this. I'm going to defend him for a little bit now before I criticise him. I saw at times this season Aubameyang playing left wing. And I don't mean left forward, running between the fullback and the centre-back. I mean left wing, getting chalk on your boots. I saw Aubameyang putting left foot crosses in and Willian running in back post to head him in. I mean, my head was rolling off. I was thinking, what is going off with Aubameyang? Why are we using him in that kind of manner? He then kind of got a bit more of a run out up front. He started playing well, then came out of the team. Obviously, his mother was unwell. It looked very bad at one stage. She recovered. That's enough to obviously mess anyone's head up for a certain amount of time. If we look at overall the season with Aubameyang, it hasn't been good enough for him. I know at one stage I was criticising the team, saying it's almost impossible to play up front in this team. When they put in 30 crosses in for a guy that's not good in the air, how's he going to score goals? What I think Arsenal have to understand, Aubameyang is a very particular striker, like Jamie Vardy, that kind of player. They play on the shoulder, they get in behind defences, they need service. You can't just give Aubameyang the ball, he takes it past 4 and whacks it in from 30 yards. He's not that guy. He's not that guy. As much as I feel like Aubameyang deserves criticism, and like Omar's saying here, he's gotten complacent after his new contract. He's got nothing left to fight for. He was playing for a pay rise. I mean, listen, people have got that opinion and I understand it. I can't say that you're wrong for that, right? I also want to remember what he's done for the football club and part of the reason why his goal tally is so low this season. He spent probably the first 10 or 15 games playing left wing, you know? As a striker. All right, he played left wing previously, but we used him properly. Look at the FA Cup semi-final and final. We're getting him in behind. He's making runs in behind. We weren't doing that at the start of the season. We were putting 30 crosses in. I thought we had prime Kevin Davis, Duncan Ferguson and Peter Crouch up front. We didn't use him right. So there was always going to drop. Equally, our team's been awful. All right, people keep putting up this statistic that, Arsenal are third since Christmas. But unfortunately, people, Santa Claus don't kick off the season on Christmas Day. We kick off in August, September. So people can put up these pictures going, yeah, but Arsenal are third since Christmas. It doesn't mean nothing. That doesn't mean anything, you know. Realistically, the season started before that. So the blame has to be shared, in my opinion, in this particular situation. Nottingham Legends say, to be honest, only so much can be placed at Aubameyang's door. Arsenal overall underperformed. 11th in the league, can't be all on him. Listen, we're not 11th. We're up to the dizzy heights of 9th. Yeah? We ain't in the bottom half no more. No, but listen, I hear your point. The blame can't be solely aimed at him. How come he scored goals under Wenger, scored goals under Emery, and scored goals under the start of Arteta? This season, I felt he was being used different. And let's be honest, up until Christmas, this is arguably the worst Arsenal team you've ever seen in the Premier League. Do you know what I'm saying? So, what I will say, Aubameyang needs some hunger to me. I want to see some hunger from Aubameyang. I think where Aubameyang gets criticised and where it's difficult for me to defend him, this question mark is always laid at Aubameyang that when Aubameyang doesn't score, what does he do? This is what a lot of people say about Aubameyang, the people who criticise him, right? When he doesn't score, what does he do? And that is something that I believe he has to improve. Improve your body language, your hunger. I want to see you running around a little bit more. I want to see you encouraging people. Being the captain doesn't just mean wearing an armband. It comes with a certain level of responsibility, and you have to step up to that. And I feel like Aubameyang is a good captain on the days when he's playing well. And the best captains over time, even when they're going through the run of the mill and it's not a great day at the office, they will inspire. They will drag something out of their teammates. That's what Aubameyang needs to improve on, in my opinion. Is he a leader in terms of vocally? I don't think he is. I think he leads with his goals and that. But when he doesn't get the goals, he has to show better leadership qualities. We've hit the big time. 9th. Trust the process. The dizzy heights of 9th, people. I never thought I'd see Arsenal this high. Curtis, Arsenal are now officially safe. We're staying up, people. Another year in the Prem and another 27 training kits next season to look forward to. I tell you what, we'd be top of the league for training kits. You know, we really would. We've been unbelievable. But I think one thing I would say, people, while he deserves criticism because he hasn't been good enough, and let's face it, football is an ever-changing game. People don't really care what you did last season. unfortunately, that's how football is for a footballer. No one really cares what you did last season. People think, what have you done this season? No one cares really that Aubameyang scored 22 last year. They're going, well, you've only scored 9 this year, and this is where the problem is. And things change very quick. What I would say, Arsenal fans, though, whilst I have got concerns about Aubameyang and his dip in form and, his age catching up with him, I would say Hector Bellerin's been our right back nearly all season. Granit Xhaka has been centre mid nearly all season. El Nenny's played at times. Willian has been so inconsistent. We're not slandering these guys too much now, and they have got no credit in the bank. They're all in their overdraft, deep in the overdraft. Like, I'm talking student loans, 30 grand in debt to the government overdraft. You know what I mean? Aubameyang's still got a little stack left in the bank of credit, in my opinion. You basically won us the FA Cup. And my question mark, if I was Aubameyang's agent now and I was trying to defend him to Arsenal fans, I would say, listen, where was Lacazette when Aubameyang was winning you the FA Cup? Do you know what I'm saying? When he was carrying this team on his back, where was Lacazette? That's what I would say if I was Aubameyang's representative. Out of form? Definitely. Definitely out of form. And deserves criticism and potentially deserves pulling out of the team. I agree with that, potentially. But I think as a fan base, if we can throw Aubameyang under the bus, then basically there are very few players at the football club that we can actually stand by, because he's been one of our best signings in recent times. So, man said Gabonese Jamie Vardy. I mean, Jamie Vardy is a top quality striker in the Prem. I don't even think that's slander on Aubameyang, to be honest. But what I would say, I think we have to defend him. We have to try and support him and lift him. To me, for Arsenal to win the Europa League this season, Aubameyang has to play a big part. He has to. That's my opinion, because as good as I believe Lacazette is, he has these purple patches. He's had them time and time and time again at Arsenal, where you've gone, Lacaz's the man. His all-round gameplay is better than Aubameyang. And then all of a sudden, he don't score for 5-6 games, Maybe it's a situation that both of them are coming to the end, and maybe both of them need to go. I don't know. Maybe we need to play both of them together. Could we play them in a 2? I don't think it would happen. But Theo said it's so sad that both strikers have what the other lacks: raw pace and all-round play. We need to find a way of getting the best out of both of them at the same time. You make a great point there. What Aubameyang's got, that hunger to score, that pace, that movement in the penalty area, Lacazette at times doesn't have that. He comes deep, he links up plays, hold-up's excellent. He's got great first touch, links up with the wingers, and Aubameyang doesn't really have that. So you make a great point. They need to merge into one player, maybe, I don't know, Haaland, we get rid of them both and we take Haaland. But listen, it's an interesting situation, especially with Aubameyang, because he's getting a lot of slander at the moment. And I just think, criticize him, yes. Every player deserves criticism, but support him. Still support him. Certain man in the chat were calling him Sonogo. I'm like, bro, we can't be doing that. We can't be calling him Sonogo, man, we need new young firepower up top, someone who can learn under Aubameyang and Lacazette. I mean, I haven't mentioned his name in this title video today, but can Martinelli be the long-term solution? Because when I look around Europe now at potential strikers, I don't see many. I don't see many that answer the question. Yeah, Haaland, unbelievable. He's not coming to Arsenal, let's be honest. If he leaves Dortmund, he's going Chelsea, Man City, Man United, Real Madrid, somebody that's going to just throw millions and millions at the deal. Raiola's his agent. He'll probably ask for 15 million just as a signing on fee, never mind the transfer fee. You say Ivan Toney from Brentford. Listen, I've watched Ivan Toney a few times this season and I rate him, but you just never know how good a striker from the Championship is going to do. Ollie Watkins is getting raved about. I don't think Ollie Watkins has scored more than Lacazette this season. So people are raving, Ollie Watkins, Championship and that. He scored about 10 goals. It's nothing special. So Ivan Toney looks a good player, but it's a risk. Is Ivan Toney going to score more than Aubameyang? I don't think he would in the Prem. But you never know, obviously. That's the risk. Craig said 100% Curtis, spot on by what you are saying. Thank you very much. I agree. You know, I mean, Nocturnal said, I would have preferred both of them to play together, but I don't think that quite works. It's a shame. I would have loved to have seen them in a two. It's just, you know, no one seems to play with a front two anymore. Pierre said Calvert-Lewin. I like Calvert-Lewin. I do like him. But Everton have got dough. He would cost 60, 70 million at least, in my opinion. So yeah, I don't see it. Arteta is playing like he's set up with a false nine. Yep, similar to what Pep's been doing a lot. Ivan Toney, I think 40 million would justify it as well. 40 million for a 24-year-old striker from Brentford. At Arsenal, it's a big risk, a big risk. Like we said, Calvert-Lewin, but they got dough at Everton. You ain't getting Calvert-Lewin for 40 million, I tell you that. Signed a new contract not long ago, England international, 23 years of age. Ancelotti as manager, you know, they got good owners there. I think he'd cost 60 million, I reckon. You know, at least. John said, Curtis, you let Aubameyang get away with murder. I mean, look, is he deserves criticism, definitely, but get away with murder. I think that's harsh on him, man. First season, half season. 10 in 13. Second season, golden boot. Third season, 1 goal off the golden boot. Fourth season, 9 goals by March. I would say Aubameyang will end up with 15 league goals. I don't think that's the end of the world. You know, 20 goals is what we consider a proper goal scorer should get in the Premier League. 20 goals is the benchmark. 15 in a bad season. I think Aubameyang can scrape 15 this season. 10 games left. I think he can get 6 goals in 10 games. I think you let him off with that, considering what he's done before, especially if he leads us to the Europa League. But anyway, that's Aubameyang. That's Aubameyang. I'm gonna put one more thing up on Aubameyang because I think people. No, I do think people are overdoing it. Criticize him, yes. Write him off, no. I think that's too extreme considering what he's done at the club. Big up Curtis, he will defo get 6 goals. And to me, in a season where our team has been shocking, especially till Christmas, if he pulls out 15 goals, I'm letting him off based on what's happened previously. You know, I want to let you know one thing. Aubameyang is our top goal scorer in all competition. You know, Lacazette's top goal scorer in the Prem. Ober is still top goal scorer in all competition. And I think between now and the end of this season, Aubameyang's going to have, you know, he's going to be a hero at some stage in the Europa League. Mark my words. Clip it, people. Clip it. You know, remember the goal against Benfica. Remember the scenes, man, last minute. So I'm letting Aubameyang off. This is my final thing in Aubameyang's defense. I've become like his defense lawyer just for the first 15 minutes. You don't get on these posters for nothing. You know, you don't get on these posters for free, people. The Premier League's quickest to 50 goals. You don't get on there for free. I'm telling you, they don't just hand them out in the street. Look at the players he's above. Thierry Henry I always let off in these kind of comparisons because he was a winger when we signed him, man. He didn't really go up front till maybe 15 games in. So, you know, he could have at least been 10 goals better off. But you look at the company he's around, man. DG, come on, just get in here, man. This is the only way DG's gonna get on the video, you know. Me and this guy, me and him are moving like the Chuckle Brothers right now. To me, to you settings, man. I've been trying to get him on. Man's messaging me back 2 days later. You know what I mean? Then we're WhatsApp. It's all over the place, man. Communication. I'm gonna send you the link now. If you're ready, you jump on, bro. Stevie Bergwijn settings, man. Let's go, my people. I've sent you the link. No excuses. If Bergwijn turns up, he turns up. Because I know me and you have had a lot of conversations regarding Aubameyang and Lacazette. So I'm happy for you to come on to this one. I've got around, what have I got? I've got about half an hour till I get out of it. I've sent in the link, people. So if he don't come on now, after saying invite me yet, we're spamming the life out of your next live stream. No excuses. You know what I mean? Man like Stevie Bergwijn in the chat. Get him in it. Right. There you go. Aubameyang. Great picture to be on, man. Great picture. Quicker than Aguero, people. One of the best. to play in the Prem. There you go. The defense is over of Aubameyang. Yeah, to me, to you, we're turning into Xhaka and El Neni, fam. You know what I mean? Chuckle brother settings. But yeah, Bergwijn on the way, people. He's on the way. Hamid said people forget about what Aubameyang has done for us, bruv. We can't forget. The streets don't forget, people. That's what they say. The streets don't forget. Remember him dropping that FA Cup, man. You know what I mean? Or the bottom of the FA Cup. Don't forget about what he's done. Curtis, we are talking about this season, but you have to bear in mind what he's done previously. At the end of the debate, I will ask that question. Is he still the number one striker? Well, listen, we'll get to that. Let me get the charger in, people. Let me get the charger in before Bergwijn turns up. Right. But let's talk about what did they used to call Lacazette for slander? It was like the French Darren Bent they used to call him. But to be fair, Darren Bent scores a lot of goals in the Prem. You know what I mean? So I think that's a bit harsh on Darren Bent, to be honest, if you look at his goal record. But listen, let's talk about your boy Alexandre Lacazette. You know this guy, when we signed this guy. Do you know how excited I was when we signed him? We'd been going through the Giroud situation, and I was desperate for Arsenal to get a new striker. I was like, please. We tried to get Suarez. We tried to get Benzema. Every year we were linked to Benzema. Oh, Stevie Bergwijn. Hey.
I got a load setting up next time you're on my channel, man. You got me still.
Bro, you call me Cameron Jerome.
I can't lie. Touche, man. Touche.
Bro, Cameron Jerome is on the bench for MK Dons in League One. At least I'm calling you a guy who's probably going to go to the World Cup. You know what I mean?
To be fair, I'll take that still, my word. The chart got me off. I have to get you back for that one, man.
What are you saying, bro?
I'm there, man. I'm good, man. I was in your show. I was listening to what you're saying, man. It's an interesting debate, man. I was going to speak about that on my channel as well, but it's like, yeah, man, I was interested to hear your thoughts. I love the propaganda as well with Aubameyang, first to get 50 goals and all those sort of things. Oh, bro, it's a debate with a heavy heart, man. I don't know where to start, man.
It is, man. It is. It's like, it's almost, to me, I feel like people have forgotten what Aubameyang's done quick, but I know football moves quick, innit? That's the thing. Like I was saying, people don't really care what you did last season. They want to know what you're doing now. And is it a case that Lacazette suits our playing style more, or is this just that purple patch that we've seen over and over again with Lacazette? What's your thoughts on it?
Both, my guy. Both. He's looking. I said I'm looking more chilled. Maybe because Curtis made me laugh and that. Shout out to the chemistry and that. But
no, but look what you're doing here. You got man doing super chats calling me Cameron.
I'm bringing in the peace, man.
Yeah, to be fair, I owe you 10% still. But no, Hamid. You better relax, fam. No, Cameron Jerome, I used to think he was a donkey in the Prem as well.
Oh, my God.
No, big up Hamid. Carry on anyway, bro. Carry on.
Yeah, but on a serious note, I think it's both, man. Obviously, if he doesn't, we'll sit here on your channel, no doubt. If he doesn't get back to scoring ways properly, we'll sit here and assess that. But I do think it's a rare blip. Realistically, no matter how good he has been and is as a player, I think he was due one of that as an Arsenal fan, as an Arsenal player, and as a fan, you was looking at that. Me and you were sat here speaking about that. At the same time, though, I do think it further confirms what me and you have spoken about several times of that elephant in the room, in that as much as Aubameyang and Lacazette, we love them, we love the brotherhood. At times it's worked. It's never consistently worked. Like with Arteta, I think I think Lacazette's more his sort of player with the link-up play and the pressing. He doesn't quite bring you the goals. Yeah. Aubameyang does. Now, obviously, flavour of the month is changed. Aubameyang isn't scoring and Laka kind of is. I think when you look at the numbers, it kind of tells a different story in that how is one having such a great season and the other. I think that's the expectation. But I think the one thing that's tipped the balance for me of recent is the performances. Like, fair enough, Lacazette's goal scoring isn't the best, but it's the performances it's being about. I don't think Aubameyang's language has been negative, but he's been missing sitters, man. And at this moment in time, Lacazette's the man for through the middle. And it's like we know, as a 38-game period, football works in stages, in my opinion. And I think both of them aren't quite a striker that Arteta would like to use week in, week out.
What I find it, and you've hit it on the head there, is the body language. You look at Aubameyang. He played under Wenger for half a season, bang goals, was smiling. Emery, you know, he had his best season under Emery. And then Arteta last year, he did well, won us the FA Cup.
Strong end.
This is the first time I've seen his body language off. To me, he doesn't look happy. And I don't know if he's still sulking because of what happened in the North London derby. And he's kind of thinking, yo, this manager. But to me, he doesn't look happy. Do you think he's a bit disillusioned with... Because everyone's having a go at him saying he's signed the contract and down tools. But how do you know that he's not thinking, I've committed the last major contract of my career to this football club and this team's mid-table? So maybe he's frustrated with the football club saying, listen, man, I could have gone to Barca, you know, who's being linked with Inter Milan. Maybe he's frustrated with what's happening at the football club.
You're right. That's some interesting points. What I believe in relation to Aubameyang currently, I just think it's poor form. Like, I think he was in his feelings after the Spurs game in the Europa League. His body language looked poor. I just think he was poor against West Ham. I think he put himself around. Like, I don't want to, you know, reach and harp on about fine margins, but everyone's talking about body language. You saw him track back and make a lovely slide tackle at some segment in that game. So I don't think it's a body language thing. I just think you're playing poor. And I just think, like we know with Aubameyang, it's sad and it sounds almost stupid, but if you're not scoring goals, you're not really doing anything. We know with Aubameyang, I think his general play is better than people give him credit for, but it's not of the level of a top striker. When you have a player like that, you either double down on their strengths, kind of what Leicester do with JB Vardy, no disrespect to him because he can mix it up, or you take him out of the team. And I think obviously Aubameyang's your breadwinner, he gets goals and you have to get him into the team somehow, generally with Arteta. I'd say for Arteta, it's hard to read him though, because it's like, when Aubameyang really was in an even worse, poorer form, you was playing him. When he kind of needs to be out of the team now, you're taking him out. I mean, other way around. It's kind of difficult to read what he wants to do long term, and then you throw Martinelli into the mix. It's a tricky one still. And then how can we really talk about strikers when the spine of the team is where it is as well? Like,
yeah. Opinionated Guna, big up for the super chat, said, to be honest, I think Arteta isn't playing around Aubameyang as opposed to previous seasons, and that's hindering him. He's building more around Saka and Smith Rowe. Big up for the super chat, bruv. We've spoken about this so many times, right? Arsenal don't seem to plan for situations. They got into a situation where they've given Aubameyang 375 grand apparently with bonuses. But surely they must have planned that there has to be a playing style that gets the best out of him. You know, Leicester play around Jamie Vardy. Everything they do suits him. You know, Claude Puel tried to play him on the left and get him with his back to goal. It didn't work. Rodgers came in, said, play him up front on the shoulder, get him in behind. Why have Arsenal committed this much money to a player if they felt he was so restricted in what he did, and if Arteta wanted a completely different style of football?
I'm not saying we should sell Aubameyang, but what you said there kind of tells in that it's not that we're keeping Aubameyang because he's not a good player. The braver decision, and I would have kept him. I'm not saying anything for the record. Probably based on what we're seeing right now, potentially would have been to move him on and fix up the club in an image that Arteta wants. But as we know, our club was never going to do all of the business it needed to do anyways in the summer, much less get rid of a key player potentially in good form. I agree with you. You know, I'm not turning my back on Aubameyang. It's about what you're doing today. And I think people need to not sit on the fence, but the truth is in the middle, in the sense of, you know, you can't rest on your past laurels. He isn't performing and he shouldn't be in the team, but you don't turn a bad player overnight. And he has carried this team numerous times. I think you can give him, not that we can give him time, but you can give him a period. It's like you said, bro, it's like you've got a player and there's no plan. The minute Aubameyang signs a deal, you should know, okay, we're going to double down on him, or we're going to build the team in another image, but we're going to keep him in a sort of reduced role, even not this left wing, right wing through the middle, week in, week out. And I'd say the minute he signed the new deal, you should know what you're going to do in the striking situation. Is that going to be Martinelli? Is that going to be someone long term? What are you going to do with Lacazette? Because in a good way, Lacazette's form makes that question more positively. A couple of months ago, people were saying, look, we're in a difficult scenario. Even what do you make of Lacazette's future as well? I'm sorry to ask you questions on your own channel, because
no worries, bro.
What happens there? Because you'd have Lacazette, who's 29, Aubameyang's mid-30s, Williams there, and allegedly David Luiz. We talk about building, and I don't discount experience, but there seems no balance in our team of sorts.
I think they're going to have a big problem with Lacazette. I think they're going to give him a new contract. For the simple reason, I think we've got so much work to do in the summer that I think selling Lacazette, trying to buy another striker, I just think he's going to have too much to do. We clearly need a midfielder to play next to Partey. We're going to try and get Martin Odegaard. If you, for example, I did a video on Basuma. If we paid 30 million for Basuma, apparently they want 40 million for Odegaard. That's 70 million again. That's 70 million. All right, maybe, yeah, if we can get him on loan, that would work. We need a right back, we need a backup left back. Me personally, I still think we need a centre back. Do you know what I mean? Unless Mavropanos or Saliba come back and blow up the Prem.
Regardless, bro. Regardless what we do, then we need the next one.
And then if you're going to start chucking strikers out the door as well, the only thing I could see is if they said, you know what, Martinelli is the striker along with Aubameyang, and you sell Lacazette. That's the only way I could see it working. But, Lacazette's 30 in May. Aubameyang's 32 this summer. You could end up with Aubameyang 32 on 370 and Lacazette 30, who's already on 150. So a new contract's going to involve a pay rise. To me, that's not good business. I don't think the biggest clubs do that. Commit that much money to 30-plus-year-old players who have been inconsistent, especially Lacazette.
And that's what scares me a bit more. Not because of that. It's like, everybody knows where Arsenal are at as a football club, and we're speaking a lot about ages. For me, what you could protect, how Arteta could utilize, the likes of Aubameyang, Lacazette, and their mid-30s, they're very much for the present. What we do presently from today to the next 18 months sets us up for the likes of Saka and Martinelli when these guys potentially and hopefully are at this club and do turn into their prime. So it is concerning that we're having this conversation, and it is one generally we've kind of had for a couple of years now. We've been in better days, as you see, you got the graphic there and things like that. It's not a problem when they're playing well, but it is an issue. I do think we need a plan B striker. I do want it to be Martinelli, but everyone wants it to be Martinelli until he has an iffy game and people start saying, oh, I don't know about him with his back to goal. And as you know, there's no patience in football.
None. Opinionated Guna, big up for the super chat again. He said, what I will say as well is that Aubameyang is not up in his game. Say what you want about Mourinho, but he's upped Kane's game, so I do blame Arteta for that too. I think you've got to take it's both, though, innit? It's both.
I see what he means.
Yeah, I get what he's saying. Like, Mourinho's adapted Kane's game and got a little bit more out of him with that link up, but at the same time, number one, Aubameyang is way more restricted in what he can do than Harry Kane. He's also in his 30s. You would say that Aubameyang's probably past his very best, innit? You know what I mean? Whereas Kane's in the middle of his peak right now, I would say. What do you make of that comment?
I see where he's coming from, and he's not wrong. But I mean, come on now, like not belittling his opinion, but it wasn't said 4 or 5 months ago. My point to say that is to say this in a sense of, I don't blame Arteta for that. I'm not being funny. Aubameyang knows he needs to score goals. We can have a conversation about tactics and stuff, but Aubameyang knows how he should be scoring goals. And I'm a big fan of, the team aren't playing to his strengths and all of this, like several players, like we've said with Laka, like we've said with Pepe, like we even said once upon a time with Odegaard. But the difference is Odegaard isn't passive in it. He can accept people are not trying to give me the ball, so I'm going to go and find it. Aubameyang, I think, can be a bit more demanding, not to praise Harry Kane over the Arsenal man and someone I've got admiration for. But one difference is Kane seems more aggressive in his pursuit of victory. Aubameyang can come across as, not that he doesn't want to win, but it's like, he doesn't want to die to win. And I think that's one stick that he's currently being poked with pause in relation to the captaincy sort of thing. Yeah, you make a good point, man. Misty said, Chelsea give 1-year contracts to anyone over 30, no matter who they are, bossy things. Worst case scenario, let's say Arsenal look at it and they go, we can't see the striker out there that answers the questions.
could you get your head around a 1-year extension for Lacazette?
I could get my head around it, but then again, would there be a need for that? Because I know, at a point he'd be able to talk to clubs abroad. But again, if we sign, everybody's saying to sign him to this new deal, and I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but the man also in that graphic behind you, everybody was saying 1 minute they were saying to sell him, then he has to sign this new deal. He's staying in such a poor period, this and that. Now they're saying we should sell him and try and include him in this and that. So it's all about form. I can hear the logic, because I've said it on your channel many times. I think we need a plan B striker. I think away from his contract, I feel the strengths Lacazette can give you over a 38-game period can assess us. I can get my head around a 1 year, but is he going to take that? Would I, regardless of what man say about Lacazette, is that in your best interest to take a 1 year, or do you be more aggressive going elsewhere and getting more finances, or even ending up Champions League?
I think the reality, right? If we really want to move like a big club, we should use this good form to cash in on him, realistically.
Several, man, really.
Yeah, there you go. Like,
Several,
even all these Xhakas and all of them, but we know the club won't do that. Let me just, give him his chance, because I've just defended Aubameyang quite hard. Like, so let me give Lacazette his chance as well. Ultimately, I think me and you have spoke many times about Lacazette and Aubameyang, and we're both big fans of both of them. But that goals column is the problem with Lacazette, innit? Because when you think he hasn't scored 15 goals in a Premier League season, he's in his 4th season. To be fair, he'll probably hit 15 this season. But has he been a success at Arsenal? When you think we paid 50 million for him, which back in 17-18, 50 million was probably like spending 80 million now. Definitely
for our club.
Yeah, especially for us. Like, has he actually been any better than Olivier Giroud, who he was, coming in to replace?
Listen, the Giroud and Lacazette thing, I'm going to stay out of it. I'm going to say shout out to Giroud. I liked him. Shout out to my guy Lacazette. He's a fan favorite. I think what you've said there, for me anyways, I think Lacazette has both underwhelmed and also been a good player for us, in the sense of let's cut the crap. He was signed for 52 million. Man, we're saying he's one of the best strikers in Europe and all of these things. He did come as a France international, and he did have a great campaign in the Europa League. Had Lacazette potentially been the striker we thought he's going to be, maybe Aubameyang wouldn't be at this club, and maybe we wouldn't be talking about the imbalance and all of those sort of things, And again, what you said there, there's no way getting around it. Lacazette, we all know the stats don't do him justice. We know the work rate, the link-up play, or, the passion, all of these things are great from Lacazette, and he gives us that, and that's why I like him a lot. I'm a passion merchant, but same way. But if I'm cynical, bro, and I look at it on a harsh thing, and without my love for Arsenal, should I really praise you for being up for big games, for pressing well, for link-up play? Surely, if you reach that level prior to coming to this club, you should have that. And whatever way you shape it, strikers need to score goals, man. Like, again, I like Lacazette. I think he's on course, if he maintains, obviously, to have his best goal-scoring season for us. But it's goals, man. It all depends. I don't think Lacazette can be your main man. He can be utilised over a 38-game period.
I think the sad thing for Lacazette, he came here as an out-and-out number 9 who scored goals, played on the shoulder. Because of the way he kind of struggled at Arsenal in that sense, his game changed. And as they're saying it, he kind of turned into our Firmino.
He is.
But the problem that he has got, Firmino is not under that pressure, because Salah and Mane are scoring 20 goals each. So if Firmino gets 9 goals, 10 goals, it's not a problem. Your 2 wingers have scored 40 between them. At Arsenal, we've had Iwobi, who probably didn't get 10 goals in a season. You've had who even plays like Pepe, people like that. They're not really hitting double figures, never mind 20. So then the focus at Arsenal is more on the striker to get the numbers. So if we had better wingers in terms of goals, I don't think we'd be having this conversation, because I think Lacazette is a brilliant footballer.
Trust me.
But ultimately, the goals are what costs him, because when you look at the Lyon record,
they make or break your career, man.
Look at them numbers. Look at them numbers compared to the Arsenal. This guy,
footballer, man.
He's a great footballer, but if we're being harsh, and I mean really harsh, I believe he's been called up for the French squad once since he's been at Arsenal.
Can't complain.
And he wasn't even in the squad. He came in as a replacement. So I think it's an emotional one with Lacazette, because I think the fans love Lacazette.
Easy to see why 100.
He scores in big games. He clearly loves the club. I think he would sign the new contract if we offered it him. But we've got to make emotional decisions if we're going to move the club forward.
And this is it. I would say, as much as I love Lacazette, even you could, sad to say, I'm not going to throw Aubameyang into that category yet, but you can. As much as I love Lacazette and all the things you said and I've said, when you're in August and you're looking at this squad over a 38-game period, he is one of these players that he might be a good player, but we don't know what we're getting from him for that whole period. There's going to be a couple months, where he's amazing, as you lot know. Then after that, he's going to be shaky, and we've got too many of those players. As much as I like Lacazette, we need a bit more confirmation. And I would say, as much as I like Lacazette and stuff like that, like we said at the start, like Aubameyang, there's probably some sort of handbrake from Mikel Arteta to why he's not convinced over him full time, to the point where, Lacazette's in a great bit of form and stuff. But if we look at the Spurs game, he wasn't meant to play that game. And there's been several times where he's been dropped, where we've said, why is he?
Yeah.
So I don't know Arteta's thoughts.
And one saying, I'm looking at the undetailed stats. Obviously, this season, for example, he started 19 games and scored 11. So the 25-11, he's having a decent season for him, to be honest. 19 starts, 11 goals. It's just, I feel like we've fallen for this trap before. 30-year-olds hitting a purple patch, contracts running down. We commit to them and then they dip and you're stuck with them. You can't sell them. Their value's gone. And you've got another Mkhitaryan / Willian / Ozil on your hands. So, it's a tricky one. It is a tricky one with Lacazette because, as I said, I think the Arsenal fans, they love Lacazette. But Opinion Gunnar's saying about Lacazette in the 10, I mean,
he's done it, but let's be real, he can do it. And this is what I mean. Lacazette over a 38-game period, you can use him in the squad and do those little sort of things with Lacazette, but out and out, not really. And it's another thing where, as much as I like Lacazette, because he's potentially not hit the expectations, we're finding other roles for him. We're talking about 10, we're talking about pressing. I'm Lacazette FC. Remember when we used to say, why is he being taken off after 60 minutes? Statistically, in the last 15, 10 most goals happen. We've rid for Lacazette. And he's a good player, but it's not quite levels. And I just find we always, as Arsenal fans, it's like we have found new roles for him or new things to praise him, fundamentally, because as much as I love him, he's not that striker we can quite rely on.
No.
And how much money would we get for Donny anyways, really? We're not getting 52.
I think on an emotional one, you might get 20 out of Leon.
Hopefully.
Just based on the emotion, like they probably see him on a different level to us because of what he did when he was there. But yeah, it's a difficult one. It is a difficult one with Lacazette. Scores a lot of big goals. Let me flip the question a bit differently then. I think overall we can see the picture, but would he be starting in your team ahead of Aubameyang right now?
Yeah, I've said that because this is the thing people forget. As much as I rate this player, rate that player, unless you're Lionel Messi and these things like that, you're not gonna really show me consistency over a 38-game period. And at Arsenal, there isn't too many players with that. Just a few months ago, Lacazette didn't look the same with the same swagger, wasn't playing like this, and looked damaged goods. Right now, he gets in the team because he's playing well. He gets it. He's in form, and he seems a better balance for the technical footballers, for the Odegaards and the Smith Rowes. Now, if Aubameyang comes and he starts scoring, what are you going to sit and say? You know what he comes with. Well, whatever we say about Lacazette, he gets 20-something goals. And I will say, I want these problems in a positive sense. I want Lacazette to somehow score goals. Is it going to be him or Aubameyang, Martinelli in the mix, and the many other things? We need these players to step up. So I do think, regardless of if Lacazette moves on, we need another striker. If not, if it isn't going to be Martinelli.
Is there any way that we could play both of these in the team? And I mean up front, not with one out wide.
Yeah. But for me, listen, we can talk about formations and that, but for me, you're going to need a lot more from your potential fullbacks, or if you're not going to go with fullbacks, wider players, and it's going to come down to that pivot. And do I trust the pivot we can currently put together? No, so it's dead. But I do think it's an option. I don't know if Arteta is really on that. To be fair, I don't really know what Arteta is on. In a positive way, I think he's doing something, but it's like I can't really read you.
Yeah, I can't read him. What have you made? I mean, I don't know if you've seen me. I've calmed down quite a bit on the.
Yeah, mate. I watch you every day, mate.
You know,
Definitely been calming down.
I haven't made a Arteta out show for about 3 or 4 months. So, although I was close after 35 minutes at West Ham, I was planning that thumbnail.
I was everybody out. I was everybody out at 3-0. I was keeping composed on the watch log. I was everyone out, man. Even the kit man, the photographer, everyone is not even involved. You had to leave, man.
Mum wanted Stuart, the photographer, out. Man. All of them.
And big ups to it because he's certified. But at that point, I wanted them all gone, bro.
Look, what do you? Could that work? I know I'm on some FIFA thing here. Last 20 went, but obviously, like you said, with Granit Xhaka, probably not. Like, you need somebody better next to Partey, but I don't know. I don't know if this is just the attacking side of me, but I would love to see Aubameyang and Lacazette in it too. Why not do that? With 3 games to go in the Prem at home to West Brom in a game that you're going to win.
Yeah, you said it there, bro. Them games there where you're dominating possession and you're meant to be the lion team, I don't mind that. Or even games off the ball where you've got to do a lot of pressing. Lacazette gives you that. Aubameyang can give you that. But again, it comes down to the pivot, man. It's like, listen, I don't want to even speak about Xhaka and all of that. I've done enough chatting, but it's like the pivot, man. Suddenly, if Partey is not fit or Partey can't complete the 90, Xhaka isn't, it could be the Xhaka that's played in the big games. It could be the Xhaka that's made the mistakes. The fullbacks, Tierney, based on that 45 minutes. I love Tierney, but that 45 against West Ham, the opening one, mad, man. I don't know, man. I don't know. The left-hand side is mad, though.
I think the FIFA / football manager side of me is running wild. I'm an attacking manager, man, but I think defensively we could get exposed. But I would like to see Aubameyang and Lacazette in a 2, but I don't think it's ever going to happen, to be honest. I ain't got too much time left, but I wanted to ask you about something. A story's come out today that financial fair play is going to be scrapped.
Swear.
And they're gonna bring something in. They're not just going to let you do what you want, but they're saying you're going to have a lot more freedom. That surely means that I know we have this conversation over and over again, but this owner has to find a way to spend money. Otherwise, he's got to move out of the way. To me, I just think when we go back to the stadium next season, well, you can actually go back last game of the season, but next year, assuming there's 60,000, our fan base have got to make noise about this owner, because you're only going to see Chelsea spend more money. You're only going to see Man City pull out more oil and, go and spend more.
Look at Roman today. Like, all you can see is propaganda, but he loves Chelsea, wants to build and that.
Do you know what I'm saying? People thought the guy was leaving. Man wants to spend even more. Do you know what I mean? We're here talking about, can we buy Odegaard and Basuma? That should be light work.
That should be baby food, really.
What do you think? What do you expect to happen this summer? Is it just going to be the same old, cheap options, TK Maxx, sale rack?
Much like them as much as I love this football club, much like them on the football field, I'm that defeated because of what I've seen. It's like I can't put any ambition or have any hope. It's what you lot want to show me. If you can pull rabbits out the hat, like I've seen with the handful of results this season, or signing Partey, then fair enough. But I can sit here and rationalize with you and everyone and on my channel and say, rationally, we should look for a right back, we should look for a midfielder or so. But are we? I don't know, because I thought last summer was a platform to at least do a bit more than we did. So, and I know there was COVID and the rest of it, and I know these same excuses can drop but could be said. I don't know, man. I hope there's a plan. Like I said to you months ago, the minute that window closed and Partey was signed and we knew we needed an 8 and whatever, fair enough, Odegaard's here, they should have known what they're doing this summer. So we'll have to see, man. I don't know, bro. I got no hope, really. Anything to give me encouragement. They got to set it for me. I don't know, man. I really don't know, Curse.
Before we get out of here, Europa League, we actually got a very good draw, in my opinion, even the potential semi-final draw. I think if we sat here at the start of the season and said Slavia Prague quarter-final, Dynamo Zagreb or Villarreal semi-final, you'd be thinking, listen, man, you've got a very good chance of making the final there. Are you confident, or are you still just like, this is Arsenal, they can let us down against anyone?
Bro, it's down to them to set it, because again, if we done it in heroic fashion, not quite as great as Xhaka said in midweek, but we're making games harder than it needs to be. Because speaking for myself, I've seen my manager and I've heard several players say we learned our mistakes from the game last season against Olympiacos, based on the 180 minutes against Benfica, based on how we played against Olympiacos also this season. I haven't. So we've gone a year. I haven't seen you. Yeah, you've come back, but you haven't done it. So I don't know. I don't want to lose to Slavia Prague, especially what's been happening with the whole racism stuff. I don't want to lose that. And I'll be looking at a lot of our players funny if we do not batter them. So that's one game I don't want to lose. Like, it looks great, but I don't know, man.
Yeah, man, for real. But listen, I appreciate you coming on, bro. You know what? Let's arrange the next show now. This is the easiest way then. So I'll come on your channel sometime like this week, or you tell me.
When are you free, bro? When are you free?
Are you doing weekend? Are you doing Saturday?
It can make something happen, bro. We can finesse something. Like, you put us on the spot. You see how man put me on the spot and then they don't even know enough people.
You know what? What about tomorrow? Forget it. What about tomorrow?
Tomorrow's perfect. I can't lie. Tomorrow is very perfect.
Let's
What
do
time?
Tomorrow. You tell me the time, bro.
What are you? Because I could, 12?
12 o'clock on your channel tomorrow.
People, you heard it here, people. He ain't even giving me time to set up on StreamYard, but you heard it here. Make a mental note of it. There it is.
12 o'clock tomorrow, Deluda's channel. Go and subscribe.
You heard it there.
Smash the like on this video. Yeah. But
Come on,
I appreciate you coming through, bro. Definitely. 12 o'clock tomorrow, man. We'll have to, go into further detail, man, because there's a lot to talk about. International break as well. It's painful, innit, man? I can't wait for it to finish.
You're saying it there. I can't wait for it to be done, bro. There's effort to talk about. We might be wanting it to come back come the result next weekend or whatever. But wait,
we got Liverpool first game after the break. It could get sticky, bro. You know what I mean?
Boy, let's leave that for a week, man. Let's not even think about that.
I don't think I'll be doing England versus San Marino as a watch along. Let's put it that way. I won't go anywhere near that. But now listen,
but myth.
Myth, bro. Big up DG for coming through. Everyone, smash a like to the video. Subscribe to Deluda. Check us out tomorrow, 12 p.m. Man said 12 Jamaican time. Well, yeah, 12, 5 past latest. We'll be there, man. Don't worry, man.
It will be done, man.
It will be done. Big up everyone in the comments, man. Enjoy the rest of your day, man. Take care.
Oh, my.